against the bench. Joe Harris, you played 42 minutes and scored 6 points. Joe Harris, Joe Harris, what do you do? Joe Harris.
Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Up Next Show. Today, Delito and Marcus will be discussing takeaways from last night's game with the Nets against the Cavs. Before we get into the video, guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, Delito, I know you are a Cavs fan. I know this victory meant something special to you. Please tell me how you felt about last night's game and how you felt that your players came on the court and played.
Hey, I just want to start off like this. It was one game. This is from the Nets perspective. It was one game. For the Cavs, this game means a lot. For the Nets, this was one game. Marcus, answer this for me. If I told you that James Harden had a 21-point triple-double, Kyrie had 37, KD had 38, and that's all I told you, what would you think? You think the Nets blew the Cavs out, right?
Yes.
They combined for 148 minutes and lost 147 to 135. Now listen. The Cavs, the worst offensive team, and I'm a Cavs fan. I love my Cavs. The Cavs are the worst offensive team in the league. And they put up 147 points on the Nets. The Cavs, the record for the offensive rating in the game was by the Dallas Mavericks, broken last year. The Cavs broke that record with 122 against the Nets. The worst offensive team in the league just put up 147 on the Nets. This is what I've been saying ever since Harden was traded there. The Nets, and even before Harden was there, but the Nets were a little better. They cannot defend the ball. The Nets are going to have to outscore every team. And if you get to outscoring teams and teams are keeping up with you, the game's going to go on longer and longer because you can't get stops when you need it. The Nets are a good team. I'm not overreacting. They're still making the finals and losing to the Lakers. But my takeaways from the game is what I thought all along. They cannot play defense. And Kyrie Irving was just chucking the ball. He was being a team player at some points, but he was chucking the ball. The Nets bench, like I said, no bench depth. Got outscored, got trampled, got run over. The Nets bench got outscored 44-10. You're not going to win games with your bench giving you 10 points. Finals, regular season does not matter. You're not winning games with your bench giving you 10 points. Now listen to it. Harden in the game against the Bucks went 13 for 25 from the field. Against the Cavs, he took 14 shots in all. He did not shoot the ball until the end of the first quarter. He was playing backseat to Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's not playing backseat to nobody. And Kyrie Irving is going to take every shot he can. He came down the court, beginning of the third, just chucked. Missed 3 straight threes. Kyrie Irving is like that. Now, he'll get hot all of a sudden, but he got burned by Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton's having a breakout year, averaging 27 points per game and shooting 50% from the field and the three-point line. The Cavs did all this by missing a key piece of Sexland. And what did I tell you? Jared Allen came to the trees. He came to the trees, racked up 4 blocks in the game last night. The Cavs played a phenomenal game. The Nets cannot play defense.
Okay, so.
That was a lot.
So, again, I agree with some of the points. Again, it's one game. I've been hearing people talking about this. I told y'all the Nets weren't going to work. It's one game. Let's look at every big three. LeBron goes to Miami. Their first game against Boston. They lose 88-80. D-Wade only puts up 13. Although LeBron has a good game, D-Wade only puts up 13. That was a horrible game by them. They end up going to the finals. Let's look at the Lakers last year. They lost to the Clippers. LeBron only had like 16 points. Not a good game for LeBron standards. Again, they end up winning the finals. So last night it was a great game. I am a believer in Colin Sexton. I really
Stop it. Don't hop on the bandwagon now. No.
I'm not on the bandwagon. I'm saying I see he's talented. I'm not going to say no. I'm saying I see his talent. I see his talent. That's all I'm saying.
Put up 42 on your boys.
Exactly. But when you're playing a team that shot 50% from the 3-point, you're not winning. No team's winning. If you
And why is that? Why did they shoot 50% for the 3-point line? The whole team.
They took 40. They took 40. They made 20. That's
But
good
why-
shooting, and that's also bad defense. So again, that's also bad defense. Bad defense. Like I said, Finance needs to work on that. But again, people were saying Harden's losing his touches. He is, but he's still getting buckets. 21, a triple double. As a superstar, I'm fine with that. And I don't know what we're going to do about Kyrie. I don't know what. I don't know what. He might have to.
Man got to go to practice.
He might what he might have to play with the backup. He could start the game but play with the second team. That so it will be a good dynamic. So he can help carry that bench stuff. But the defense, I'd rather have all the talent and work on the defense. The defense can be worked on. Again, if you look at that Raptors team, that beat the Bucks, they play. I would like to see the Nets play a rotational type defense. They help everybody else. Again, and the Nets rebounding was good. That's another.
Yeah, they out rebounded the Cavs. And still
the
lost.
Nets rebound was good. So again, what I said about the rebounding is good. It's just the bench and the defense. Again, defense can be worked on. Defense can be schemed. You can have less defense. You could have more offensive minded players, but defense can be schemed up to help those players that lack that defense.
The thing is, defense cannot be schemed up if your players aren't good at defense. If they're okay at defense, they can guard the man every now and then.
The only person that's not good the only person that I would say is a bad defender on that Nets team, or at least a bad defender, is Kyrie. Don't act like Harden and don't act like
that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm not calling them bad defenders at all. They can defend the ball. You saw in the fourth quarter, Cavs were up by 13. Nets cut that lead down to tie it.
Yeah.
But once the young bull got hot, it was over. He scored 20 straight points. 20 straight points. Kyrie Irving, KD, old man Jeff Green, whoever was guarding him, he put it in the bucket and mouthed them. They could not stop him. They could not guard him. It was a one-man. No, let me not do that. Jetty Osman had a great game too. He put up 25 points. And let's not act like y'all missed Torn Prince. I underrated him. That's my bad. 17 points, shooting 3 for 5 from the three. And y'all act like Larry Nance can't shoot the 3 ball. When KD's your best rebounder with 12 points, and the man you claim DeAndre Jordan's a good center, had 4 rebounds. The dude y'all just traded, Jared Allen, just racked up a double-double with his first game in the land. He came to play with the trees. He came to the land.
Again, the Cavs are a good team. I had them being a playoff team. But if you look at the season, they're 17 in the league in 3-point shot. And I mean in 3-point percentage. 3-point percentage. Again, shooting 50, I think that's just the aspiration. And if you look at against the bench, Joe Harris, you played 42 minutes and scored 6 points. Joe Harris, what do you do? Joe Harris, again, I know he's gonna sit in the corner and shoot threes, but come on now. I mean, he did almost.
You live and die by when you're like Joe Harris, and I know I'm a player like Joe Harris. You live and die by these threes. When it's on, you look great. When it's off, it's a long night. Especially Joe Harris. To think about it, Steve Nash, he can only play. He only wants to play KD, Kyrie, and Jeff Green and James Harden. Joe Harris went to the bench. He came off the bench. He lost his starting spot to old man Jeff Green, and he still played 42 minutes.
Dang.
Joe Harris, it will live and die by the three. So that's what you have to work with. And he's not that great of a defender either. You saw he was getting blown by Jetty. I've been mouthing it in his mouth. He was cuffing it. The Cavs were hot. Now, I'm not going to say I expected the Nets to win this game. But when Kyrie does not play in about 2 weeks and he comes back and Kyrie took 28 shots on your first game back and played 40-plus minutes, that's not going to work. Let Harden – that's why I was saying KD and Harden look great. I didn't want to mess that up. Kyrie came and messed the chemistry up. Now, I'm not saying they won't build up chemistry. The Nets are still going to the finals. Don't get that wrong. But Joel Embiid may cause them some problems in that paint. DeAndre Jordan's not doing nothing. Okay. Joel Embiid been playing like an MVP candidate lately.
Here's my final points. Again, DeAndre Jordan, I told you, if y'all were pressing up on the Nets, I told you DeAndre Jordan was going to get a lot. I think he had about 1 or 2 in there. 13 points. That's a casual. Again, my final points is Kyrie, you gotta show up for practice. Again, you can't come back. You can't come back off of a long stretch of not being there. Come in and think you're gonna shoot that. No. Again, the Nets, it's just chemistry. Again, let's look at the past big threes. They all lost their first game. They all ended up making it to the championship.
Yeah, but they didn't let the worst offensive team in basketball score 147 on them.
You're right. But again, but the Lakers did lose to a Clippers team that,
Hey, that Clipper team had 2 stars and a superstar and a star, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George.
So again, final take for this episode. Nets, scheme up a better defense. Steve Nash, you got this coaching job. You are a player. You know how the game of basketball works. Trying to find a rotational help defense, just like the Raptors had, I think back in like 2018, where they stopped that Bucks team. Common rotational defense. Again, Kyrie might need to play with the second team. Start the game, might play with the second team. Helps that bench depth. That's all I can really say. I still have the Nets going to the playoffs. Obviously, I still have the Nets. I do have the Cavs either being a play-in team or a play-off team. I don't. There's not much I can really say.
My last point for the episode is Nets need to go get some people who can defend the ball. They're not winning every game by outscoring people, and people need to wake up and believe in Colin Sexton. Because what Cleveland has brewing down there, I'm telling you, don't hop on the bandwagon when our young players develop. Colin Sexton is a future star. I believe he's a future all-star in this league. Darius Garland is a great point guard, and he will be a star in this league too. Sexland is brewing. The trees are brewing. Watch out for what's going on in the land. And the Nets need to play defense.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and also tap the bell. And be sure to tune in to the Nets and Cavs game tomorrow, and enjoy.
Peace.